Hello and welcome to the Nexus. Today we're going to have a look at the next ship in the Star Trek line from Fanhome, the Shrike. Let's have a look. Okay, so this one is it's a little bit unique. Now I know some people don't like their alien ships, but I do. And the reason I say this is unique because it's the only alien ship that we get, or we're getting so far. And I'll explain everything as we go along. So this is the box, as you see. It's got a really nice packaging on there. So once again, if you're an inbox displayer, you've got some options there. So you've got this top view with the Shrike there, Star Trek card, and then on that side you've got a nice of it on display there as well. Obviously Fanhome at either side. That is the box. Now, as always, I'm going to take my mat off a second. Now, as always, we're going to switch in a minute and have a look at the magazine, but I just want to say that, yeah, it is the only ship that we get. Obviously, the alien ships don't do very well with Eagle Moss when they were about. So I can understand why Fanhome don't want to produce many of the alien ships, but I think they're really missing a beat because some of the alien ships are really cool and are actually really good, including the Shrike. But I understand why. Now, the reason I say as well is I think this one's going to increase in value, I think, because I think most people, I've already seen lots of post people saying they don't want this one, they're going to skip it, they're already selling it. But I think that's a bit wrong because that's a downgrade, because I don't think this is a downgrade at all. And also as well, if you want the whole collection, this one is definitely part of that collection. But it's the only Federation, is the only alien ship, shall I say, that we're getting in the collection. So anyway, let's open it up and take a look. Okay, so as normal, we always take a look at the magazine, which should be in here. There we go. There's the magazine on the top there. We'll have a look at it in just a minute. I always go through the magazine first. Okay, so here we go. So this is the Shrike. I would say it's only seen in the first half, or in the first act, I would say, in the first half of Star Trek Picard. I won't give away any spoilers. Though I probably will say some things, but I won't give away too much, just in case you haven't seen it. It has a special portal weapon, which we can see here. Once again, it goes on the stand like that. We'll do all that on the thing, and we'll get some stats here, the length and stuff like that. Now, one thing it didn't say on the show is it's of unknown origin. Now we know that, spoiler alert, we know that it's a changeling that's in charge of this. So is this a founder's ship? Is this a new Dominion ship? We don't know. It's not entirely clear what this ship is. It has elements from other things, and we'll come on to that when we look at the ship. And it has this awesome portal weapon as well. We know it's being manipulated by others involved on Star Trek Picard Season 3. But yeah, we never really got a lot of info to the origin of this ship. But we have in-universe information here, as we see, and then we get some really views on this. So we get a top view, bottom view, side, back and forth, as always. And then we come on to the design aspect, which is really cool. In fact, I would have preferred some of these to appear. Some of these look... that looks very much Battlestar sort of design. I love going through these sort of things. This one, I think, would have been badass as well. And then we have this sort of like... It's weird. It's strange looking back like this. And I'm thinking these were some of the original designs. And then we got what we got, if you know what I mean. More of a Federation type design there, with sort of the Federation themselves there. Looks like a Romulan ship there. That looks like the star that was in season 2 the sort of Borg ship that was in season 2. And then they sort of refined it out, as you can see here. I do actually dig this one, or the octopusy sort of legs. That would have been very difficult, I think, to produce as a model, so I'm glad that they didn't choose that in the end. We've got some other ones here. This looks almost Jem'Hadar-like. This looks Andorian to me, or like an aquatic ship. There, and that is it. So we get some good bits there. So let's take a look at the ship itself. Here we go. And look at that. That is... well, firstly, thing that strikes you as soon as you pick it up is how heavy this is. Let's bring up the stand. I'll put all that together. Let's put this down here a second. Now with the stand, as always, we don't get numbers or anything on the bottom like we used to, and the stand goes in and I just push it down, wiggle it down so it sort of sticks in place. And then the ship itself, so this is the top of the ship and that's the bottom of the ship there with the deflector dish or portal weapon, and then that slides in like that, and it actually sits very, very well. We're going to do some close-ups in a minute of this, but I'm just going to show you this right now. So that's that bit, and then we'll have some closer shots of this in just a moment. I will say this, the wings here, the main body, so the 2 wings and the main body is all die cast, which is really nice to see. So it makes it very, very heavy, and it goes on here pretty well as well. I do like these sort of alien vessels. The front pylons, the bottom pylons I should say, come out more than the top ones, which is a nice touch. I never really noticed that when it was on the screen. It's easily recognisable as a Star Trek alien ship, that's for sure. It doesn't have any elements from any other shows like some ships have in the past. But let's have a look closer. Okay, here we are. I'm on the handheld, so if it wobbles I do apologise, but as you can see there is so much detail on this, which is really nice to see. It gives it that sort of depth. We get the Aztec in that we get on the Federation ships down here. Get this splash of orange there as well, a little bit of yellow, gold, and then we come on to the back of the ship. So let's take a look here. So once again, the engines are all like sort of red colour, which is nice. And that is painted on. So this isn't like that light, the sort of a light see-through plastic. It's all painted, which is nice. So I've got it on the tripod now, which I should have done at the start. So as you can see, the top ones are slightly longer than the bottom ones there, and you get this. So like I said, it's not this sort of see-through red plastic or anything. It's actually painted on the engine sections. I could see these not breaking at all because they're die cast, which is nice, and they've got this sort of blade effect, which is really cool. The interior section here, this reminds me of the Ferengi Marauder ship. This sort of cut-out design here. A lot of the alien ships actually have that. And then we come on to the front here and underneath. Once again, we've got this, I think that is like the deflector dish or portal device that's there. Once again, we get this Aztec in here, which is nice. We get some really close-up details. Now, the deflector dish itself, okay, so that's better. I'll put a little light on, and you can see the deflector dish there. It's like an orange piece of plastic. It's not see-through either. It has got detail on it, which is nice. Trying to focus up on that bit. But, as you can see, it looks really good. I actually like this. Like I said, there is I think it has a bit of a disservice really of these alien ships, because some of them are so well done and they look really cool as well. But with this one being the only alien ship, I think could be quite sought after at some point. Maybe not, maybe it's just me, but I think it could be, because it's one of those ones that I think you only get the one chance to get, if you know what I mean. It looks really cool like that. Okay, so let's do some comparisons. Okay, so here we have the XL Enterprise F with the Strike here, and you can see the sort of size comparison there. So we'll take off the Enterprise F for a second, and the Strike, and they look pretty good teamed up. I think the Strike is actually this size. I think it's bigger than a Galaxy class ship. It says that in the magazine. So actually, with the Enterprise F being bigger as well as the Galaxy class ship, I think these are actually close in scale. In fact, I think they're actually perfect in scale, actually, in terms of sizing. They look really cool together. Let's put the Strike back on the stand there, if I can. There we go. For that. Okay. So yeah, as you can see, they're quite similar in size. A lot of these Fanhome ships are very, very good in size, and I think they've chosen the right size to do these in. Now, I do like the smaller ships, I really do, but you do lose detail on the smaller ships. So I can also see why people want the smaller ships, because that's how Eagle Moss originally did them in. So a lot of people have that smaller scale, so I understand that, but really I think these are the perfect size for the collection. But anyway, that's the Strike. Yeah, there it is there. So it is what it is, as I say. So there it is. There is the Strike, and I've got to say, it's very, very nice. I'm very happy and pleased that we have it in the collection. Like I said, I kind of feel like a lot of the alien ships don't get as much love as they should, really. And with this one being the only one in the collection so far, because I think if you think there's only going to be 20 ships in the collection, I think you're vastly mistaken. But with this only being the only one so far, I think it's worth keeping hold of, worth getting. And because you can only get them from Fanhome, I think it's going to be one of those ships that I think may be very sought after in a couple of years' time. And because everyone got rid of them, or is getting rid of them, I've seen it online already, it may push it up, but that's just me. Let us know in the comments what you think. I actually love this ship. It will be going on display with the rest of them. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you click like, subscribe and comment, and we will see you at the next video. But until then, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.
Tune into the channel, Nexus is the name. All the hottest content, you'll never be the same. Laughs and thrills, excitement,